Curiosity, what's the going rate for a scholarship for, say, a law school or, say, certainly med school?
Yeah, the amount for the med school or law school is about $8,000 last year, and the tuition's about $18,000 or $20,000. So it doesn't cover the full tuition, but it's a nice chunk of change to get. If you got the scholarship for the main Baton Rouge campus as an undergrad, I think that's about $5,000. If you are out of state student, every of the 20 scholarships that every board member is allowed to award every year, 2 of them can be for out-of-state students, and those are worth $15,000 a year.
Wow, wow. So is there a dollar figure? I mean, I was trying to go through my mind in terms of what 16 times 20 potentially, and then times 8 or whatever it may be. So is there any kind of dollar figure?
Well, what I can tell you is that what I added it all up is that last year the amount of scholarships that the 16 board members awarded, also the president of the university, President Jenkins, it added up to $1.3 billion. And this is, the money's not handed out in cash. What it is foregone tuition that the university doesn't collect. In other words, LSU or the public treasury did not collect $1.3 million because it handed out these scholarships, again, that the public, most of the people did not know about, that each member of the board could award 20 of them.
Just out of curiosity, I mean, obviously...
I could jump into one other thing I want to say, Steve, if you
sure.
go with that thought. Some individual board members are allowed to award more than $100,000 of scholarships a year. If you add it up, it can be more than $100,000, and that's quite a perk. And who's been getting these scholarships? Have they been getting them to the best and the brightest? The most, the poor kid, this is the only way that he or she could go to LSU, or is it being done, given out to political favor?
And so the point I was getting to that you touched on just briefly is that not everybody can get into law school, not everybody can get into med school. So I'm assuming that these people have to pass the certain, say, standards and criteria, and then, I mean, they can't just take the scholarship and use it to get in. Am I correct?
Right. You have to be admitted to LSU as an undergrad or to one of the professional schools, and then you apply for the scholarship, and there's kind of minimal grade point average that you have to meet to be able to actually get this scholarship. And as I said, it can be worth a lot of money.
Yeah. Now, what really puzzles me about this is, you recall the Tulane scholarship, and at that yeah.
I actually was the guy who broke that story wide open.
Uh-huh.
Didn't break the initial story, but I broke that story wide open.
Yeah. So why don't you tell us?
That was a story where it actually began when Mayor Bartholomew awarded a scholarship to his son to get a 4-year scholarship to study at Tulane, and it was put in the high school graduation program, and I think it was a TV station that broke it. What I did with the Picayune, and I had a lot of help at the paper, was we were able to get to force Tulane to give us the entire list of scholarship recipients going back many, many years, and we reported then that every legislator allowed to award a 1-year scholarship every year to Tulane, and we had members from the state house and the state senate awarding scholarships to their own children.
Isn't that amazing?
One case, former Johnny Jackson, when he was in the state legislature, he awarded the scholarship to himself to study at Tulane. I think the other legislators nicknamed him the Green Wave. After my big report came out in the Picayune, they reformed the program, and ever since then, there are certain rules that are in there, and also all that information is public, who each legislator awards the scholarship to. So I think I'm not saying that there isn't any favoritism anymore, but I think it probably goes much more to deserving students to be able to go to Tulane, and that's public. And that was one of the reasons why Senator Claytor thought, well, if that's public, then the LSU Board of Scholarships should be made public, and the Southern ones also. And you know, it's my view that in general, the more transparency you have in government, the better. And I think what's happening since I wrote my story is more and more people are finding out about these scholarships, and more people will apply. And if people do want to apply, go to the LSU Board of Supervisors webpage, and the application information is right there. And of course, people want to get more information, they ought to check out my story at thelensnola.org.